Hey, good morning. Mark Lampkin here, your brother from another mother. It is Thursday, March the 16th, 2023. And there's a lot going on in my city, Vallejo, California. Some of it you may have heard, some of it you may have read. Much of it is probably not true. And I haven't said much about it, but there's a quote by Angela Davis that I posted today on the Facebook page. And it goes like this: If they come for me in the morning, they will come for you in the night. And so I felt it important and imperative that I speak out right now regarding what's going on with the Vallejo chapter of the NAACP. I was duly elected in an election in November of 2022. And since that time, there have been some changes. The most drastic one is that the president, Mr. Jimmy Jackson, passed suddenly on January 17th of this year. Since that time, we have moved forward with the plans that Mr. Jackson had put into place, a succession plan that had Hakeem Brown named as president, Patricia Hunter and myself remained vice presidents, and installed people sworn in. A couple of weeks ago, one of our vice presidents, Ms. Hunter, decides that she wants to be president. And so came the challenges that we are hearing about from the state and the national offices of the NAACP. And they are stating bylaws that are convoluted at best and muddy at worst, confusing above all. There was a cease and desist letter sent to Hakeem Brown, the president of this chapter, and it was aimed at him as though he were a person seeking a power move, which is anything but the truth. I want to read to you my reply to that cease and desist letter because I think it really points out who the problem lies with. As a duly elected vice president of the Vallejo unit in the November 2022 election, I would like to share my dismay and concern over what is taking place. First, I have not been included in any of the actions nor invited to meetings by the ascended unit president, Pat Hunter. How could she conduct unit business in such a manner? Not only me, but the other elected officers and those appointed by recently deceased President Jimmy Jackson have not been included in any of their communications. I find this to be an act of deceit and is highly disruptive. Secondly, what group voted to install Mrs. Hunter last week as the majority of the members were not present? Did they even have a quorum to conduct legal business? I would ask that you inquire with the state NAACP personnel about this. Thirdly, I have seen more activity in this chapter since the January installation of officers conducted by then President Mr. Jackson than in the prior 4 years that I've been affiliated with them. That speaks of the community's response to and thirst for this new leadership. Those who have chosen this moment to augment the agreed upon executive board of this unit are not people with whom many will follow should the national office award them with a verdict removing Mr. Brown from the office of president. That will be quite a stain upon this chapter, in my humble opinion. Please feel free to forward my concerns and comments to Mr. Derek Johnson, National NAACP President. This is a time for moving forward boldly, not remaining attached to that which does not free us. So a organization with a history as rich and powerful as the NAACP should not be bound by bylaws that are, as I said, confusing and conflicting. So there needs to be something done here in this community. But what you must know is that this is not a power move made by Hakeem Brown. This is something that the people asked for by voting and have responded with because then now they see there is true voice and vision to their needs in the community of Vallejo, California. So There's always two sides to the story. Don't believe the first one you read. Peace and power to we, the people.